Treasure Etoiles is not the first band you've worked with in Switzerland. So when you were with BB13, do you remember what you thought about the band, about Treasure Etoiles?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I used to always tell the BBO that Treasure Etoiles was the best band in Switzerland, and we had to be 1 point better than Treasure Etoiles. Treasure Etoiles was for me, and still is, the best band in Switzerland, clearly. And it was always the one to beat. And so that was really my aim at that time, I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry. But that's all we wanted to do, was be 1 point better than Treasure Etoiles. It was kind of like a mantra. And very often we were 1 point better than Treasure Etoiles. Just that 1 point.
And when you came to work with Treasure Etoiles for the first time in 2008, what was the impression when you first conducted the band?
I was very proud to be there. I was very proud to be asked, because that's a bit like, well, everybody knows I'm a bit of a football fan. That's a bit like Sir Alex Ferguson going to work with Liverpool. It doesn't happen so rarely that people cross that kind of rivalry. And so first I was surprised to be asked, and then very proud to be asked. The first impression of the band was that it was exactly the same as I had remembered it. It was excellent, it had its own style of playing, a very unique style of playing, a unique sound, and it was exciting to be working with that.
In what way is it unique? You said unique sound.
Well, I think every ensemble, whether it be an orchestra or a band, but particularly bands, have their own particular characteristics. That comes from things like the brilliance of the sound of the cornets and the tone of the middle of the band, for example. And Treasure Etoiles has a very bright sound. It has a very bass light sound. There's not a heavy bass like in some English brass bands. And there's also a particular vibrato which comes from all being taught by the same person. So they have an incredible style. For me, it's like a bit like the Vienna Philharmonic, which has a particular style because all the string players go to one conservatory of music. There's a tradition of handing down. And Treasure Etoiles has had that for 40 years. Of course, it's developed a unique style. And for me, that's something incredibly exciting, something to actually to protect rather than to change.
And what about the atmosphere?
So it was a very professional atmosphere, a working atmosphere, and what I really like at the end of the rehearsal is that there's a great deal of socialising. And I think that's the glue that binds Treasure Etoiles. That little verre de vin blanc at the end of the rehearsal, that really is something special, and many bands don't have. Many of the bands that I've worked with, at the end of the rehearsal, everybody's gone.
Could you try to describe Treasure Etoiles to someone who doesn't know anything about the band?
Well, I regularly do describe Treasure Etoiles to people that don't know anything about the band, because I go all over the world and I wear the T-shirt. And when I do, people ask me, what is that? And I tell them that it's an incredible brass band. It's one of the best in the world. And in my opinion, that's not exaggerated. It's something to be incredibly proud of, because the infrastructure is a local one, which is when you compare English bands like Grimethorpe and Black Dyke, they bring the best players they can get from all over their country. And Géo and Treasure Etoiles, they bring the players that they can get from villages and from people that live very nearby. I think that's an incredible achievement to get to the standard of Treasure Etoiles using the resources that are only found locally, or to the greater part are only found locally, is an incredible thing. And when I tell people abroad about the whole infrastructure, the B-band, the music school, the lessons, the individual lessons for members of the band, they say, this is amazing, we want to see this. So I expect people to come and knock on the door and copy this.